All right, we're talking about UFC flyweight. Brandon Royval was supposed to be fighting on Saturday until an injury knocked him out. Brandon, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing well. Like, obviously supposed to fight Amir Albazi. How kind of disappointing was that? Especially after everything booked against Askar Askarov. Like, he doesn't make it to the fight. You kind of waste that whole training camp, and then you end up getting hurt. Like, how kind of frustrating has these past couple months been for you?
Oh, the past couple months been super frustrating, man. I just kind of wanted to end the year with the fight. So it was like Amir Albazi, the fight, like as far as like what I wanted to accomplish this year and like the projection and like the way I wanted to go wasn't really the direction I wanted to go anyways. But it was just like I like the matchup. I think Amir Albazi's sweet. I think he's a good fighter, and I thought he'd be able to push the best out of me. And yeah, that whole entire camp up until like I said yes to that fight is a disaster. You can even see my face now. It's like I have scars on my face. I can't even know which way I'm facing. I got, like scratches on my face.
Yeah.
I got split open a few times. I pretty much spent the whole entire fight camp like just working around different injuries, and then finally I was actually at the LFA and my wrist was hurting really bad. It was hurting. It was deformed. It was kind of purple, but I'm like I have a lot of tattoos where I broke my wrist. And I talked to the doctor. I was like, does this look like something? She goes, yeah, you either have like a really bad staph infection or your wrist is broken. She goes, if you're in my office, I would immediately give you an x-ray. But I was in like Idaho or something. So it was like, I don't really have insurance out there. So I had to go back. I had to wait to go back home, but it was just like super achy. And then I went home and the doctor's like, yeah, you broke your wrist. So virtually I got cleared up until this week. Like, which sucks because the doctor's like he's like you could take the fight. He goes, yeah, you could take the fight. He's like, you can't. He goes, it's perfect timing. He goes, you could throw your first punch like pretty much the week of the day of the fight. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work out as far as like fight camp goes. I can't wrestle, fight. I can't box. I can't really do anything. So it was just it sucked, man. And I had to kind of like weigh the positives and benefits of like if I go into this fight without a fight camp, what am I gaining? What am I losing? But what do I stand to lose and gain? And to be honest, I don't really have anything to gain in this fight. And it's like I've done this a couple times in my UFC career where it was like I had zero training camp. I like went on like I was able to jog, like I was able to run and stuff, but that's all I was able to do. And that was pretty much my whole entire like first UFC, like the first run I had. But for the Amir Albazi fight, it's like it makes zero sense for me to go out there and face someone that's on the come up with nothing to really gain anything besides tech. It's like if I beat Amir Albazi, my rankings aren't going to go up, you know? So it's just one of those things that I was like, I had to kind of weigh the positive and benefits of, or the positive and negatives of it. And it was like the negatives of going into a fight without training against Amir Albazi is way higher than the positives that could come out of it, you know?
Do you know when you broke your wrist, or is that still kind of a mystery then?
Yeah. I had an idea. I'm pretty sure it was like on a Thursday because I flew out on a Friday to the LFA, and then my wrist was just bad. Like it was aching, and like I kept looking at it. And I'm like, is it swollen? Or am I being a pussy? Like I couldn't tell. And finally, I just like asked the group around me, like because I was like I was cornering and I was holding mitts and I was doing all this stuff to get ready, like get my fighters ready, and my wrist was killing, you know, and they're like the moment I saw it, everybody's like, whoa, that wrist looks broken, you know, and like I was like, it's not broken, and like I kept telling myself it's not broken, it's not broken, and then like I kind of see it between my tattoos, it's like super purple, and then the doctor there, I was like kind of talking to her, so I was like, I don't know what exactly I did with it. I think I was wrestling, and then I just got like put down wrong or something the day before, but yeah, it sucked, and then it like we had kind of a week to just like decide if I can work around the injury, and it was like it just wasn't working at all.
And then they're obviously booking like already into like March now. So when are you kind of looking to get back in there?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of concerned about the whole thing too. Is like I don't know where I fit in with all this stuff, and the flyweight division's kind of been on hold with Pantoja being up next for the title fight. Kai Car France is already booked, which is like kind of a fight that doesn't really interest me anyways, because it's like I already feel like what's been proven has been proven, and I mean I don't even know why I'm ranked below the dude, but then the two champions are the Moreno and Figgy fighting for like the fourth time is like it's I don't know how I'm gonna move up. I'm probably gonna have to fight someone behind me is what I'm thinking, but yeah, I'm kind of overdoing that too. It's like my last 3 fights have been ranked someone below me, and then I have the Askarov opportunity, and then that doesn't go through. So it kind of sucks, you know.
Yeah, I guess kind of the only guy near you that doesn't have a fight book is Nicolau, because like Pantoja's gonna be waiting. Like Kai's booked against Alex. Like if you beat Schnell and then it's Albazi Dvorak they're fighting this weekend. Like, is that kind of the guy you think would be next? Are you kind of waiting to see how some of these fights play out and maybe fight winners of certain fights?
Yeah, yeah. I assume that'll probably get offered to me pretty soon. I haven't got it offered to me yet, but I assume that'll probably be something that's being offered to me. If they don't offer it to me, I'm definitely interested in fighting the loser of the bout. Like that's the thing that interests me the most for sure. Is like Mateus Nicolai, I think, done a really good job his last 2 fights, but it's like I feel like I've just been fighting some dude ranked right behind me over and over again, and it's like I clear that dude out, and then I fight the next dude who's him, and it's like I'm kind of not spinning my wheels because it's like obviously you're doing work by clearing out the bottom of the division, but it's just like I want to move up, you know. I want to move up. I want to fight someone ranked higher than me, and I want that opportunity to kind of do that. So it's like the Mateus Nicolai fight interests me because I think he'd be an interesting style to fight. I think it'll be kind of a fun. I have a lot of good training partners that are counter strikers, including like Gutierrez, Yusuf Zalal. They're some of the best in the world at it. So it's like I get the best looks of that, and it's like I almost had it. My style's changed by just being my main training partners of like. Now I have to go. Now I had to like adapt how I attack people and go after it like like mathematically or like calculated. So it's like I think I've already had that like the perfect style to just kind of take Mateus Nicolai out. But that being said, it's just like, I want to fight someone ranked ahead of me too. So it's like if they offer that to me, I'll take it. But it's like I definitely kind of want to see how that title fight shapes up.
Do you have a preference of who you would want to fight if they lost? Because I actually think there's a chance. So say Figgy loses, I just think he moves up to 35, and I don't think you really get a chance to fight him. Or Moreno, if he loses, like I think he's a guy that would stick around at 25.
Yeah, I would rather fight Moreno just because I think I have a lot of. I think there's a lot of opportunity that comes with that. It's just Moreno one is a super skilled opponent, and I feel like me and him have unfinished business. So it's like I have that like that in my head where it's like I want to like kind of answer some of those questions that are in my own head or stuff that I feel like I already know. But I have that feeling that Figgy would go up if he loses the fight. I heard that he'd go up if he wins the fight too. So it's like it's kind of a weird situation that it's like if Figgy goes up, wins the fight, goes up a weight class, and Moreno loses, then it's like Pantoja's going to fight who for the new belt, and it's like I don't know if I take a fight below me if I'm going to lose an opportunity there too. So it's just a weird situation, and the flyweight's been weird since I've been in it, and it's like I've been teetering at the top, and it's like I've been trying to get to these like top guys, and they just seem like they've been fighting each other over and over again, you know.
Is like best case scenario then the UFC doesn't offer you anything until after that fight, and you can kind of see how everything plays out?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see that because it's just a month away, you know. So it's like I got a month to kind of. The holidays are coming up. I mean, I want to like, I don't know. When you fight someone, you have someone in mind. It's like it's just strictly business, you know. Where it's like when you don't have someone on the cards or like in mind, it's like it's where real growth happens, and it's like I can kind of like take different styles and explore different styles and all that stuff. So it's like I'm kind of excited to be doing that for a while and grow as a martial artist. But at the same time, it's like I don't really have like the most years behind me. It's like I want to just pop off, you know. I want to have as many fights as I can the next few years, make statements, and just let them know I'm the best flyweight in the world, you know. So it's just like either or is like either or. Honestly, I've got comfortable with the idea that I'm probably gonna fight Mateus Nicolai next, but I also want to just I want to get closer to that title shot, man. I really do.
How frustrating is the division for you as someone in the top 5? Like obviously a lot of these guys like Pantoja is just going to wait for a title shot. Like he's kind of the guy that's been screwed around the most because he should have got a title shot a long time ago.
Yeah.
But like for you in that top 5, like it seems like everyone doesn't want to fight below them because they could be like that next guy. And then, but then Figgy Moreno just keep running it back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what that's what I thought with the Amir Albazi, like why I was just like, okay, Alex Perez pulled out, I'll take that fight. Cause it's just like, I don't want to keep saying no to these guys that are below. I don't want to say no to anybody, you know? And I haven't said no to anybody. So it's like, if they offer me Amir Albazi or like the opportunity arose, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take that fight short notice and do that, just so it's like they keep seeing that I'm saying yes to everybody, even people behind me. So it's like, to that, it's like, I don't know. It's like I want to do my part of not being that guy, but at the same time, it's like I've been that guy for the last few fights, and it's like I'm over it. You know, since I've been in the flyweight division, it's been like pretty much held up. You know, and I feel like it's not even really like it needs to be. I feel like the Kai Kara France getting a title shot versus Moreno for the interim title just like didn't really make sense. I thought Pantoja was the clear. The clear candidate to get the next title shot, and I don't know. I'm doing a lot of bitching, but I feel like Pantoja should probably be the one that's most upset about half this stuff. So it's like, yeah, it just everybody's kind of holding on to their position, and it's like, I don't know. I really don't know.
And the weirdest thing about that was Pantoja was on that card that the interim title fight was on, and he had wins over both those guys, which was super weird why he wasn't part of it.
Yeah, 2 wins over Moreno, and a win over Kai Kara France, and like, yeah, I mean, it kind of just shows too is like I got to get more popular. I don't even know how to be more popular. I'm over here trying to put on exciting fights, but it's like it's a kind of a popularity contest too. So it's like you have to kind of put yourself out there in that way too. So I think Kai Kara France has a lot of backing. He has a whole country behind him, and Pantoja doesn't necessarily have that.
So say you get Nicolau, like how do you think that fight? How do you think you kind of match up against him? How do you see that fight playing out?
I actually really like the matchup. Like I said, I have a lot of counter strikers in our gym. The vast majority of our gyms like counter strikers, and I have 2 of the best in the world. I know Chris Gutierrez is a really good counter striker. He's way better than Mateus Nikolai, and so is Yusuf Zalal. And you can see that with like Ilya Topore doing so good. Is like Yusuf Zalal took him to decision, 1 round against him, almost had him out of there, and it's like that kid's super good. So it's like having those 2 guys that are longer, I think more faster, and then also just like have higher MMA IQ and tools in their toolbox, that it's like they push me every week and they've shaped me to be where I'm at, man. So it's like I love the matchup, I really do. But it's just like at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't think he's the most exciting fighter, and I think I would have to push the pace and bring it out of him too.
So what is kind of the ideal year look like for you then?
The ideal year looks like is I just go take out whoever's next in front of me and get a title shot off of that. That's really what I want. Is I want my next fight to get me to a title shot, and I don't know if that's even possible. But and that's what kind of freaks me out about the Mateus Nikolai fight is if I go take out Mateus Nikolai, then it's like I'm kind of just sitting in the same position as I was, and like, I don't know if I'm where I go with it, you know. And it's like, and then also if Figgy loses and then goes up a weight class, does Moreno get a new title shot against Pantoja? That'd be wild. But it's like that's a big possibility, you know. So it's like just kind of getting ready for a little bit of everything, and I just want to stay active because I had a lot of plans this last 2022, man. I had a lot of plans, and it seemed like it all kind of fell by the wayside. So I want this year to kind of be a good year for me to pop off, make a name, and then also just get a title shot.
And the dumbest thing is how you're not ranked 3rd and how they have Kai ahead of you, even though you beat him. And it's not like you're on some losing streak and that's why they put Kai ahead of you. Like you've won your past 2 fights. Kai lost to Moreno. Like that's what I don't understand why you aren't even top 3, because then you'd have more of a case for a title shot if like just the fans see like, oh, he's ranked 3rd or he's ranked 2nd or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I also just like to reiterate that fight wasn't that long ago, and it's like it wasn't a close fight. It was like dropped the dude 2 times. I had him wrestling, like, and that's not his go-to game. So it's just like I don't know. It is what it is. I've been frustrated for the last couple months for sure, and then I finally got back to training today, so that was kind of a nice little relief. But I've been just going stir crazy for the last month.
Just 2 more things. Obviously, with Mark, like how kind of scary was that for you guys? Like I know I was talking to Chris before his fight, and like he said Mark thought he had staph or something, then he ends up going to the hospital and I was like cancer or whatever. Like how kind of freaky was that couple days for you guys?
Yeah, man, it was it was like watching Superman fall from grace almost for a little bit, because he was walking around with the cane. He wasn't able to do half the stuff that he normally does. Coach Mark is has his gear on with us. I don't see many coaches in there, and it's kind of funny too. It's like I'm not trying to shit on anybody's coach or like say like people that are out of shape can't be coaches, but it's like our coach is doing practices with us, talking shit and in the mix half the time. So it's like when he's not doing his runs or doing stuff with us, and I don't know, man. It kind of also just made me realize like how valuable that guy's in my life is. Just watching him slow down even a little bit was horrible. It was a horrible few weeks for all of us. I feel like we all took it really hard, which is crazy, but it just shows like what a asset he's been in all of our lives, and he's back to being normal. He's back on the mat. He's back to doing everything. He still has the cancer in his kidney, but he didn't let that slow him down at all. And it kind of also, another cool thing is like we have no excuses. It's Coach Mark, like a full on tumor, kidney failure, and we went on like a team jog, and Coach Mark was like, yeah, he's like, my leg's a little swollen, but I'm going on the jog, and like then nothing slows that guy down. So it's like it was motivational. It was also just like eye opening too. Is just like you can't like we're all pursuing our personal legends, and you can't let one day go by without pursuing it to your fullest, or let one of these days slip by, because you know any of these days could be your last, and you don't want to live with any regret. And that man pushes it to the fullest every day, and he's something to aspire to be like. And even though he still has cancer in his kidney, it's like you would never realize it because that dude's still 100% full force going at it. He's right now at the gym working out, doing the strength and conditioning program, and like I said, you gotta love it, you gotta respect it, and you gotta draw motivation from that always. So it's like we have a real leader, but like not only just a leader who's telling you where to go and all that stuff, but he's sitting there with the troops in the trenches with us, and he leads from the front, you know.
And I know obviously you're close with Alex Hernandez. Like obviously lost his fight over the weekend, but a pretty entertaining and kind of really good performance from him at featherweight. What you make of his performance? Because when it announced he was featherweight, like I was shocked that he could even make that weight, and he looked very good early on against Billy. He was a tough out for anyone.
Yeah. Billy's tough as fuck. So I already knew that going in, and he knew that going in too. So it's one of those things that we knew we were going into a war. And I knew he could make featherweight. The moment I saw him, the moment me and him like because we train together kind of a lot. I'm a lengthy flyweight. I'm 5'9", so it's like I get to train with 55ers and 45ers and 35ers. So I get the advantage to kind of see all weight classes for the most part. I don't go up and fight 170 and 180. I don't go train with the 70 and 185ers, but I do train up to 55. And I knew he could make 45, and I still think that he's going to be a wrecking ball at 45, man. Mm-hmm. He's getting into his groove, and honestly, man, we have a lot of good people at our gym, and a lot of secret talent at our gym, and a lot of guys that are coming up. And Yusuf Zalal, who's no longer in the UFC right now, is one of the best guys I've ever trained with. I would always want to say his name, but Alex Hernandez is one of the most well-rounded people in the gym, man. We have a gym full of studs, and Alex Hernandez is definitely the top dog. So it's cool that it's cool that he's in our gym, and I hope he doesn't get too discouraged by that loss, because it was a tough out, man. Billy Q's tough as fuck, and we knew that going into the fight too, and he worked his ass off this camp, and I hope he doesn't get discouraged, because I know he'd do a lot of good stuff at 45.
Just last thing to end off on a bit of a lighter note, two of your teammates in Chris Gutierrez and Jonathan Martinez, like what's that like to see their wins over legends? They finally get kind of that big name and respect they've deserved for a long time.
Yeah, man, those are like two of like one of my best friends. Like they're like my best friends on this earth. So it's like it's so cool to watch it. And same as Alex Hernandez too. Is just like these are dudes you brush elbows with every day, that you go to war with, that we eat together, we do everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. That was one of the more emotional days. Like especially like when Pedro won, or Jonathan Martinez won. I was supposed to be on the same card, so me and him are going through like we trained the whole training camp together. And then when Chris Gutierrez won, they both made it look so easy, and it was just like, dang, I get to brush elbows with these guys, train with these guys, and like, I don't know, I've drawn so much motivation between them this year. Rob Wilkinson won the PFL title, and it's just like this year has been one of the more inspiring years to be at Factory X, and man, I can't believe I'm just part of something great, man, because it really does feel like something great is cooking down here. The energy in our room is amazing, and And those two, man, those guys filled my hearts with emotion those 2 days, because it was just like, not only did they win, they made statements and they made it look easy, man, against two legends, two guys that we all watched since we were little kids. And they went in there and they didn't make it a bigger deal than it had to be. They went in there and they knew what they had to do. They got a job done. They took the face and the name away from the people, and they just ran through a body. And that's super motivational, man. And I needed to see that. I feel like that needed to happen for all of us, and we all draw motivation from that.
Oh, well, Brandon, I appreciate the time. Hopefully you get a fight soon and a guy ahead of you next time out.
Yeah.
And in front of fans.
Yeah. I just want to put on good performances and just make statements all year. But I appreciate your time too, man. Thank you for taking your time today.
Yep.
All right, bye.